So YouTube, welcome back to another board game review. This time we've got Richard Garfield's excellent King of Tokyo. This really is a good game. If you think Godzilla against great big monsters fighting over Tokyo in an absolutely hilarious board game, it really is so good. Plays between 2 to 6 players. I played it at 2, I played it at 3 and I played it at 5. 5 is a really sweet spot. Enough players, enough interest, it goes on, and trust me, you have absolutely no friends at all. Okay, so I'm going to turn the box over, and this is the back here. Richard Garfield, King of Tokyo. Roll dice, improve your monster, and smash other players to win a heavily covered title of King of Tokyo. Okay, so you basically have dice, and on each dice you get a wound symbol, you get a hit symbol, you get an energy symbol, and you get numbers 1, 2 and 3. And it's got a Yahtzee mechanic. So how you play it is when it's your turn to roll, you roll away. If you like what you have, you keep them. If you don't, you keep what you want and re-roll, and you do this again. Basically, it's self-explanatory. The heal your wounds, unless you're in Tokyo, will buy you health back. The deal out damage is what it says on the box. It allows you to hit. The mechanic is if you are the player who's occupying Tokyo, your hits hit everybody. However, if you're the player outside the Tokyo, your attack hits the person in Tokyo. Once hit, the person in Tokyo can decide to yield, which basically gives it up or stay. There's benefits to both, and we'll go over that in the rules later on. Energy is really good. What energy does is it's like the game's currency. You keep hold of it, and then on your turn you can buy cards like this one here. As an example, this one's called Jets, and it costs 5 energy, and it means you keep the card, you don't discard it upon use. And it says if you don't lose any health, if you decide to yield Tokyo. That could be a really good power to have. And finally, the other way to win, apart from eliminating all opponents, is to roll. Is to get victory points. Now, rolling these, you need a triple. So if you roll 3 1s, 3 2s, or 3 3s, and keep them, at the end of your turn when you're scoring, that's how many victory points. Okay, let's open the box and have a look what's inside. I played this recently with my wife and son, and we had a real blast. Okay, so just moving out of the way there, we have the King of Tokyo rulebook, which is a very simple rulebook. It's really nice. Just shows the essentials, basically the contents, how you set up the game, and how to play. Basically, it tells you the effects of being in Tokyo, example of a 5-player game, how you end the game, and basically clarifications of the power cards, which I mentioned earlier. Let's put that over there. The actual game board itself, this is the real shocker. This is the game. No great big massive board, just one simple tiny little board. Tokyo City, Tokyo Bay. This here means that you get 1 experience when you enter Tokyo, and you get 2 victory points for every turn you last in there. What this means here is basically you can't heal yourself. Tokyo Bay is if you have 5 or 6 players. 1 player goes in Tokyo City, the other goes in Tokyo Bay. That's the board. Okay, and then we have each monster has their own card, so shown here with Mecha Dragon. Okay, so you have a little counter for your victory points. Like I say, first to 20 wins, or you have your health come down to 0, and that's you out. Last monster standing wins, basically. Okay, so we have, I think it's 6 of these in the box. So there's Mecha Dragon, there's Space Penguin, who's my personal favourite, there's Cyber Kitty, Gigazar, guess who he's supposed to be, no copyright, etc. Alienoid, who looks really good fun, one for the sci-fi fans out there. And a King, no guesses for that's Kong. I mentioned earlier the cards, okay, so there's a good selection here of just random, they're all upside down now, of random powers which you can play, you can keep. That one's worth 7 evacuation orders. If you discard that, all of the monsters leaves 5 victory points. Down to a low cost one, rapid healing. You keep this, you spend 2 energy at any time, and you gain a heart. this game really is, it's beautiful, I'm not kidding. Everybody I've introduced it to has absolutely loved it. The dice, another feature of dice of this game is the dice are absolutely brilliant. They're big, they're thick, they're chunky. They roll absolutely lovely. Look at them, look at them. Okay, so they're the 6 that you start off in your hand, and some of the special cards use the green dice. Okay, I'll put those over there for now. Then we get a bag of energy cubes. These are what we get if we roll the energy symbol on the dice. You build these up to buy these to use the powers on your opponents to become the last monster standing. We've got a bag of tokens which have the effects, different effects of the cards, so you put down by your character to remind you you're under that effect, example poisoning. Okay, and finally we get the monsters themselves. So we have this one, my favourite, Crazy Penguin. We have Kong, we have the Alienoid, and we have the man himself, Gigasaur, otherwise known as Godzilla. Okay, and all we do is we just literally pin these on here, and away we go. Okay, so if you, as an example of gameplay, if you're the person in Tokyo, you put your dinosaur on here, everybody else will be outside rolling dice. Okay, the other ones there. So I've got those there as an example of roll. Oh, well, that's very good because I've got 3. Remember earlier I said about the 3 experience points? So I'd keep those. I'd keep the hit and I'd roll again. Okay, I'd keep that hit there, and my last roll is a 1, which is useless. So what this would mean is at the end of the day, if I had said player here, then our monster in Tokyo, he'd gain 3 experience points, he'd gain 2 hits, and he'd also gain another 2 experience points, victory points, at the end of the turn. What you'd do is you carry on going and you'd be adding these, so you'd be adding this to his dial here for his experience, and again, once that gets to 20, we have a winner. There's not much else to say about King of Tokyo. I was introduced to it by a gaming buddy of mine, G, in work, and he put it out on the table. I saw it, I saw the big monsters, I saw the big chunky dice, and I absolutely fell in love with it. I really fell in love with it. I thought it was brilliant. As I say, I've played it at my wargaming club with up to 5. They loved it. My wife loves it. My son loves it. Everybody who's ever come across this game loves it. Honestly, you could do a lot worse. Honestly, really a lot worse than to buy this. This is an absolutely fantastic game. Comes highly recommended. It's always in my bag. It's that go-to game, beer and pretzels, or as a warm-up for a bigger game night. Do yourselves a favour, guys. Trust me and buy this one.